when they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit.
Grease in your hair, that is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like,
0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I definitely...
Tensions rose quickly when Gervonta "Tank" Davis stormed into the press conference and gave a bold warning to Lamont Roach, shouting that he would finish him in front of a shocked crowd. The atmosphere was intense, full of emotion and unfinished business as the two fighters stared each other down before their rematch. Cameras flashed and fans watched closely. Davis made it clear he wasn't just there to talk. He came to prove a point. What followed was a heated exchange of words that fired up the boxing world, setting the stage for a fierce grudge match filled with pride, rivalry, and the need for revenge.
It's Red Corner Boxing here. So the Ring Magazine has today confirmed that Gervonta "Tank" Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. 2 will take place on August the 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a great fight. We need to see it again. Who wins it and how, lads? Let us know here on Red Corner Boxing.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind. How close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal.
The rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., which was originally set for June 21, 2025, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, was postponed for several reasons. One major reason was Davis's request for more time to train properly. In addition, financial problems faced by premier boxing champions, the event's promoter, also caused delays. Because of these issues, the fight was rescheduled to August 16, 2025, but it will still take place in Las Vegas. The rematch is highly awaited, especially after their first fight ended in a controversial draw. First fight, held on March 1, 2025, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, ended in a majority draw, leaving fans and analysts split in opinion. One judge scored the fight 115-113 for Davis, while the other two scored it 114-114. A controversial moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach, but the referee did not call it a knockdown. That decision caused a lot of debate among boxing fans.
One coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach.
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me, so... Gonna look like somebody else already did it. I don't know.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look. That sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you he's too little.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
We y'all Tank play so many head games, it's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off and then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama, which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training.
Davis blamed his performance on several distractions, including eye irritation from hair, products, and the absence of ring girls, which he said threw off his focus. Despite these issues, Davis admitted his mistakes, saying, I could have definitely done more. That's my fault.
A minus 16 crazy to me, dude. That underdog lived up to the hype. He ended up, forming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some chance to see guys getting the referee their own fight. Dude, you getting counted. Actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. He started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper out counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. Earlier in the barge that Tank did to Roach.
Critics believe that Davis intentionally took a knee in the 9th round against Roach to break his opponent's rhythm and regain control of the fight. By going down on purpose, Davis may have been trying to buy a few extra seconds to recover instead of risking getting overwhelmed by Roach's aggressive attacks. Many fans and analysts see this as a smart veteran move to stop Roach's momentum.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my.
Davis explained that the problem came from a hair treatment he had 2 days before the fight. He said the grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat during the match, causing his eyes to burn. During the post-fight interview, Davis showed frustration about the situation and said his reaction was real because of the irritation, not because he was trying to change the outcome of the fight.
And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and GervontaDavis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murrays, Sport Waves, the Soul Glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nerve-eye and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty. It's horrible. It's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight drained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash rulings.
The explanation got mixed reactions from fans and analysts. Some questioned whether the moment should have been called a knockdown, no matter the reason. The controversy around the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight grew as the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, started an official review of the fight's result. According to Boxing Kingdom, technical problems delayed an immediate review of the important 9th round moment when Davis took a knee. Many people believe this should have been ruled a knockdown for Roach, which could have changed the final result.
What the feeling was like in the ring, and was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that. Or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
After the controversial draw, Roach's team filed an appeal with the Athletic Commission to change the decision. The appeal focused on an important moment in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis started to count, but stopped at 3, letting Davis go back to his corner where his trainer wiped his eyes, a move that breaks boxing rules. Davis later said that grease from his hair caused his vision problems.
Without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have.
George Kambosos Jr. did not hold back when talking about Gervonta Davis after Davis's controversial draw with Lamont Roach Jr. Kambosos praised Roach's great performance, highlighting his skill and toughness in the ring. He was especially impressed by how Roach challenged Davis, something not many fighters have done. Looking back at the fight, Kambosos questioned whether Davis can compete with the best fighters. The fight was full of controversy, especially in the 9th round when Davis took a knee but was not given a knockdown. This caused a lot of debate, and many in the boxing world believe Roach should have won.
Why are you taking? You know that. You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm confused because that's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. If that's a 10-8 round, I win the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? That draw turned into a
115, 115, 114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right? You see that
JakePaul has confirmed that if GervontaDavis wins his rematch against Lamont Roach, they will start talks again for a possible exhibition fight. Even though Paul fights at cruiserweight, 195 lbs, and Davis at lightweight, 135 lbs, the match would be a 10-round exhibition. The fight was almost finalized before, but got delayed because of Davis's draw with Roach. If both fighters win their next fights, the exhibition could happen later this year. For his rematch, Tank Davis is training hard with Kenny Ellis, one of the most respected trainers in boxing today. Ellis is known for his discipline and attention to detail. With Ellis's help, Davis is improving his technique and endurance, making sure he doesn't repeat past mistakes. Ellis will be in Davis's corner during the fight to make strategy changes as needed. This team-up means fans can expect a much stronger and sharper Tank Davis this time.
Weekend, what'd you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery session, so I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when, obviously, Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring. And again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, yeah, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's, unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily...
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the...
Coach Calvin Ford brings a new energy to Tank Davis's team. Their relationship is more than just boxing. It's built on years of trust and shared experience. Coach Calvin has helped Tank grow in the sport, turning his natural talent into a skilled fighter. Every big win Davis has had was with Coach Calvin working hard behind the scenes. Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley was doubtful about Roach's chances in the rematch even before their first fight. He pointed out Davis's smart boxing skills, southpaw style, quick footwork, and strong fighting instinct. Lampley also talked about Davis's surprising punching power, comparing his knockouts to those of a young Mike Tyson. He said that even though Roach is a skilled boxer, he would have a hard time against Davis's abilities. Roberto Diaz, advisor to Lamont Roach Jr., recognized that Davis is a tough opponent, calling him one of the best fighters in the world. Diaz mentioned Davis's strong record and power, but also showed confidence in Roach's skills. He pointed out Roach's long experience, including his amateur background and the improvements Roach has made since their last fights. Diaz believes that Roach's knowledge of Davis and his own growth could be very important in the rematch.
For sure. How real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Kenny Ellis, a coach in Davis's team, defended choosing Roach as an opponent by highlighting Roach's strong background as a 7-time national champion with an impressive record. Ellis said that although some fans don't like the matchup, underestimating Roach would be a mistake. He added that both fighters have improved since their amateur days, and the rematch will show how much they have grown and adapted.
Interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp A lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer. Got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing Lamont Roach to try to initiate something with slower hands, score his points, and get out. And he said the reason that he believes that Lamont Roach would be able to do that.
Who you think will win this time? Share your thoughts in the comments below.